Let the record show at 6 o'clock. We'll call a meeting to order. Sarah, will you give the roll call, please?
Eddie Gokenauer.
Here.
Linda Barnhart.
Present.
Eric Goff.
Here.
Buchanan Morton. Tim Lewis.
Tim?
Present.
Okay.
Daniel Gant. Nick Deal.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. The first item on the agenda is approval of the agenda, which has been submitted with no changes.
Move to approve. Second.
Have a motion from Mr. Goff, second from Mr. Gokenauer to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next thing is the open governmental process. Do we have anybody that signed up for that? Okay, let the record show that there's no one to speak for the Sunshine Law. Next item on the agenda is approval of the meeting minutes.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Deal to approve the meeting minutes as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have 3 public hearings this evening. First one being Martinsburg Seventh-day Adventist Church.
The first public hearing is a request for major plan change approval. The project is Martinsburg Seventh-day Adventist Church, file 2110-392. The owner is the Chesapeake Conference Association of Seventh-day Adventists and the engineers Fox and Associates. It's located in the Arden District, tax map 36, parcel 11, and tax map 2, parcel 6.1. This property is located on the west side of Delmar Orchard Road, approximately 1,300 feet south of its intersection with Tuscarora Pike. The major plan change proposes the construction of a private elementary building and associated infrastructure, including water and sewer service lines, a drop-off area, parking, a playground, and a retaining wall. On February 23, 2022, the Board of Zoning Appeals granted a special exception in accordance with Section 5023 of the Tuscarora Community Zoning Ordinance to construct a private school. At the same meeting, the developer was granted a variance to Section 602.2 Table of Minimum Yard Requirements, requiring a setback of 150 feet and a side setback of 100 feet. On July 22, 2022, County Engineer Doug Smith found the project to be in compliance with the subdivision ordinance. The major plan change meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Clint Rock with Fox and Associates.
I'm sorry?
Clint Rock with Fox and Associates.
Say, thank you. Okay, this is a public hearing. This is the opportunity. If you have anything on your mind you want to discuss about this project, that's the opportunity. Please come forward, state your name, your address, and any comments you might have.
If there is nobody, I'll move to close public hearing.
Okay?
Second.
Let the record show that there's no one to speak. Have a motion from Mr. Goff, second from Mr. Deal, to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Was that an aye, Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Okay. It's a little delay.
Sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault, it's the system. No one is in objection. The public hearing is now closed. Okay, Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Rock or of staff?
Hearing none, I'll make a motion. We accept staff recommendation for approval.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Gokenauer, second from Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to grant the major plan change to the Martinsburg Seventh-day Adventist Church. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next public hearing is Countertop Solutions.
This public hearing is also a request for major plan change approval. The project is Countertop Solutions, Lot 3A. The file is 2204-112. The developer is Countertop Solutions, LLC, and the engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, tax map 14, parcel 11.18. This property is located at 286 Langston Boulevard in the Falling Waters Industrial Park. This major plan change proposes the addition of a 5,000 square foot accessory building on a 3-acre parcel, which is currently served by public water and sewer. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On September 8th, 2022, county engineer deemed the project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. The major plan change meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends approval.
Okay, do we have anyone to represent Countertop Solutions?
That Rock?
Yeah, well, we like to have you speak so that the tape recorder can pick it up.
Understood.
Okay. Clint Rock? Cliff.
Clint.
Clint Rock. Okay, this is a public hearing. If you have questions or comments, please come forward and let us know what they are at this time.
There is no one. Move to close public hearing.
Second.
Okay, let the record show that there is no one to speak from the public. Have a motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gokenhour to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Rock or the staff?
Hearing no question now, make a motion we accept staff recommendation for approval.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Gokenhour, second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendation, and that is to approve the major plan change for Countertop Solutions. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, the next public hearing is Mobley.
This public hearing is a request for waiver. The project is Mobley, filed 2209-270. The developer is Matt Mobley and the consultant is DeMagno Consulting, Inc. It's located in the Mill Creek District, tax map 6K, parcel 45, and is located at the intersection of Middleway Pike and Pedal Car Drive. The developer is proposing the creation of a 0.3146 acre parcel and a 0.4622 acre parcel. The existing parcel is currently served by public water and sewer. The developer is requesting a waiver to section 305.4.1 of the subdivision ordinance requiring a 2-acre minimum lot size in order to proceed through the preliminary final process. This parcel is currently operating as a barber shop and used car lot. The engineering and planning department met with the developer to discuss the potential subdivision of this property. Since there's approximately 25,000 square feet of existing impervious coverage on this parcel, the developer was advised that compliance with the 2016 Stormwater Management Ordinance would be required if and or when the property is subdivided. Secondly, this parcel is located in the Inwood flood hazard area, which requires additional stormwater management calculations. Since stormwater management cannot be provided on a preliminary final plat, staff recommends denial of the waiver to section 305.4.1 of the subdivision ordinance. The applicant may subdivide the property through the sketch and preliminary plan process.
Okay, do we have anyone to represent the project?
Yes, Danny DeMagno, I'll represent Mr. Road.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. If you have questions or comments, please come forward.
If there is nobody, I move to close the public hearing portion.
Second.
All right, let the record show that there is no one to speak from the public. I have a motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gokenhour to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. DeMagno or of the staff?
I don't know if it's proper, but I have a couple of comments.
Sure, it's proper.
Okay. I was led to believe that as long as stormwater management wasn't triggered, this would be approved. Now it's something totally different. I don't know if you guys realize where this is. This is out down from, if you go up the sheets and then the left, the next right. There's an old house out front. It's a barber shop. There's a car lot in the back. It's one piece now. The guy that's selling it, I think it's Sam Collins. I don't think he's related to Ron. I don't know. But they just want to cut a line across between the two so he can sell the barber shops to the barber and the car lot to the guy that has the car lot on it.
Can I ask how you were led to believe that there was nothing required?
I talked to Laura and she said she doesn't remember the conversation, but she gets emails. And then I talked to Doug out on the steps here for about a half hour one day, and I was told as long as stormwater wasn't required, we weren't doing anything. We weren't doing any additional work. which they're not planning to do any additions, no, he's not expanding the parking lot, he's not putting addition on, the barber shop's not doing anything, that it would be approved.
We don't ever say that any waiver would be approved. We say that we might
Well-
recommend approval or denial of the waiver to the planning
Right.
commission. As for a phone conversation, I would with certainty say I did not talk to Andy on the phone about this issue. I do have an email conversation where I said if stormwater management was triggered, he would have to go through the full site plan process.
I'll tell you with that, there's no way I would have said this would have been approved because the minute the subdivision line went across it, I
This
would
is our
start
email
asking for
conversation,
ADA
like you
parking
did.
for the barber shop, I would start asking for paid parking lots. I would look for complete compliance with the 2009 subdivision ordinance. Neither of these is not even close. So there's no way I would have said, throw a line across it, don't do anything. I would have started reaching in to see how much I could get to comply with the ordinance. And you can't do that on the preliminary final plan. That's gotta be done in the sketch.
We can't ignore the 2016 stormwater management ordinance with any type of plat that comes into our office, whether that be a minor, major, any of that.
And just to set the record straight, Mr. Mobley came in with another surveyor and was gonna try to do some additional work, which would have triggered site plan. But when I got a hold of him, I said, look, you can't do anything, I know that for a fact. And I came and talked to these people and was told, well, as long as you don't do anything, you're okay.
No,
I disagree, Andy.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue, but I'm
As
just.
long as you don't try to subdivide it, as long as the property's not touched and left the way it is, we technically can't do anything. But the minute you bring it in here, if you tell us you want to do something with it, it's a free-for-all.
I'm not
You
gonna,
can't look at a project with blinders on and only apply a certain section of the
Yeah.
ordinance to an overall project. It's just, we can't do that.
If we did that, it'd be helter-skelter.
It has 5 times as much impervious coverage that triggers stormwater management. MS4 would definitely have issues with us
Yeah.
subdividing that property without any type of water quality on that parcel.
And that's not even going to say, because the Pike side, this is in the Inwood flood hazard area. We asked for extra controls on the stormwater because of that. And that's all been in place since 2009.
Andy, what about the Inwood flood hazard area?
well, to my knowledge, there's never been a water problem at this site.
It's not this site that we worry about.
No, I understand, but
There's all
I'm just saying, there's never been a problem at this site, so I mean, there's no stormwater problems.
When Mr. Mobley came in with Chuck Sager originally and met with Doug and I, he wanted to do a small addition onto
That's correct.
the building, which would have been over existing impervious areas, so we typically would not have an issue with that. Albeit, it's over 5,000 square feet altogether, so that in and of itself would trigger. Then we told Mr. Mobley, even if you don't want to do the addition and you want to subdivide the property, you're gonna have to do some type of stormwater management control. We told him we'd let him have the redevelopment credit and give him 2/10 of an inch and only have 8/10 of an inch to a credit for and everything. We had an hour and a half conversation. And then he met with Andy, and I mean, I discussed with Andy in the email, I don't know when Doug talked to him, but I said, if stormwater management is triggered, then yeah, a full site plan is required. Yes, you can go through the preliminary final process for this property, but I don't make the call on what's triggered and what's not. All I know is we can't look at stuff with blinders. That's an engineering call.
And trying to subdivide it, that's basically an improvement of the property. And like I said, I would already say there's no ADA, I mean,
It's all gravel,
it's all gravel, there's no
there's no
parking defined. I mean,
paved
we would start
parking
asking
area.
for everything out of the subdivision ordinance, and that's not even going to stormwater management. And at a minimum, even if this was located in another part of the county where it wasn't in a flood hazard or known flood district, I mean, we could look at a quantity waiver, But there's no way I can waive stormwater quality, MS4 controls. I cannot waive that. That's not given to anybody in this state.
Okay. Planning Commission members, you've heard. It's now up to you to make the decision. Just let me ask this question. From what I understand here, if we don't grant the waiver, you just have to go through the engineered site plan. Is that?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm prepared to make a motion.
Alrighty.
Make a motion that we accept staff recommendation for denial of this waiver. And the justification is the stormwater management with the impervious area over 25,000 square feet.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Gokenhour to deny.
Second.
Second from Mr. Goff. Yes? Second from Mr. Goff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Wait a minute, I didn't hear. Is there anybody opposed, Mr. Lewis?
No, I said aye.
Oh, okay. All right, the motion carries. Okay, the next item is preliminary final plat for Jiren.
Yes, this is a request for preliminary final plat approval. The project is Jaren. The file is 2207-213. The developer is Arthur Jaren. The surveyor is Roberts Land Surveying. It's located in the Falling Waters District, Tax Map 5, Parcel 119. This project is located on Tice Road, approximately 1 mile from Grade Road. The developer is proposing the creation of a 2.16 acre parcel, Lot B-1, and a 2.86 acre parcel, Lot B-2, to be served by private well and septic. On October 11, 2022, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the project complete and compliant with the subdivision ordinance 2009. The project is found to be in compliance with the subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the preliminary final plat.
Okay, do we have anyone to speak regarding the project?
Bob White, representing Robert's Land Surveying.
Okay, thank you, Mr. White. It's been a long time since I've seen you.
Well, I'm old.
Honey, you don't know old. You don't know old.
I'm actually retired.
I know, so am I. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. White or of the staff?
Hearing no question, ma'am, I'm prepared to make a motion to accept staff recommendation for approval of the preliminary final plat.
Motion, Mr. Gokenhour, second Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to grant an exception to the preliminary final plat process. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the
Thank you very
agenda.
much.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is Robert Hornbaker.
Excuse me, yes, this is a request for preliminary final plat. The project is Robert Hornbaker. The file is 2208-245. The developer is Robert Hornbaker, the engineer. Consultant is DeMagno Consulting Incorporated. It's located in the Hedgesville District, map 13, parcel 1.1, and map 20, parcel 101. This site is located on Providence Church Road, approximately 0.56 miles from West Virginia County Route 23. The developer is proposing a 5.83 acre parcel for a single-family detached residence to be served by private well and septic. On October 12, 2022, County Engineer Doug Smith issued a letter of approval stating a review of the above-mentioned project had been complete and was found to be in compliance with the subdivision ordinance. The project is found to be in compliance with the Berkeley County Subdivision Ordinance 2009. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the preliminary final plat.
Okay, do we have anyone to represent the project?
Yes, Andy DeMagna, I'll represent Mr. Winby.
Thank you. Planning Commission members, do you have questions or comments to Mr. DeMagno or the staff?
Hearing none, ma'am, make a motion, we accept staff recommendation for approval of the preliminary final plat.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Gokenhour, second by Mr. Deal, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to approve the preliminary final plat process. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, that concludes our agenda for the evening, other than staff, council, discussion, action, and motion, all that big one. Anybody got anything?
Probably the only things, the subdivision regulations, if you guys want more time or whatever, it's up to you guys, but just read through it, I guess.
Okay, we read through it. We have some questions that could get answered, I'm sure. Then what's the next step? Are we ready to take it to public hearing?
Well, I think, and Jeff can correct me, but I think that you have to recommend to county council to advertise it for the public hearing.
Public hearing is actually in front of the council.
We don't have to hold the public hearing?
You would vote on
Vote on
whether
the,
it's recommended,
To council.
send it to the county.
okay,
Then
okay.
the actual public hearing is then, because they're the body that can make it law.
Okay, sounds good.
So yes, that's really where we're at with it. If you guys need more time to read it, obviously it's,
If
you
you
know,
want to come in,
heavy.
you want your need some questions, I guess, just.
Well,
what to do.
I'll have to beg off. I have not started the review process yet. I've been not feeling so well, so please accept that as my delay. Mr. Gokenhour says he's halfway through. Have you had an opportunity to look at any of it yet?
Started, but
Yeah. How about you?
I have reviewed the entire, ordinance, and I'll send Laura my comments.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Tim.
Another thing too is we haven't sent it out and made it public to any of the developers or anything. So if that's something that you guys would like to happen now,
I don't.
just tell us.
Certainly
If
do
not,
that.
we'll wait.
I personally feel that we need to look at it before we send it out to the public to look at.
Works for me.
How you
Yeah,
feel?
let's try to get it as close as we can
Yeah.
before we send it out.
Yeah.
Works for me.
If we send it out, then, well, even after we look at it, if we have no questions and we send it out and then there's a bunch of questions, it would, you know,
No, I
But
agree.
I'd
I just
rather
wanted
have the
to let
county
you guys
council-
know it's completely up to you all.
yeah, I'd rather have the county council take the heat on a public hearing.
Oh, there'll probably be some, I reckon.
Yeah. Okay, if there's nothing else, planning
I
commission
move to
members?
adjourn.
Okay, I have a motion at 6:22 for Mr. Goff, second from Mr. Deal to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.